I was so excited to be invited by this school to come and share with the children there about my experience being a published author. I had written down everything I wanted to say. I was going to talk about how being a writer had always been my dream and how I worked super hard to achieve that goal. I had even prepared some fun games for them, like a simple writing exercise where they'd have to write sentences as fast as they could, and then we'd read them out loud together. But when I arrived at the school, there were only two children in the library, and it turned out that the head librarian was also the teacher for those two kids, and she told me that she had sent an email to all the classes, inviting them to come to the library during their free time. Well, I couldn't fill up 45 minutes with just two children. So I asked them, "Do you guys have any questions for me?" And that S when I learned that they wanted to know how I used to make stories with my friends as kids. I ended up spending the entire session talking about that, but I didn't mind at all because I really enjoyed sharing that part of my childhood with them. We talked about how my friends and I would use to make up stories about princesses who didn't want to get married or dragons who adopted kittens and raised them as their own. We made up worlds where animals could talk and trees could walk. We wrote these stories down in notebooks that we passed around. Each of us would write a page and then fold it over so the next person could continue the story without knowing how it ended. At one point, one of the kids asked me, "But why did you do that? Why did you fold the page over?" And I realized that what I was doing was actually teaching them an important life lesson without even trying. So I sat them down and I said, "There's something important that I want to tell you." Then I explained to them that sometimes in life, things don't go the way that you want them to. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. Sometimes you have to deal with disappointment. And most importantly, you have to be able to adapt. I told them about how when I was younger, I had big dreams. I wanted to be a published author. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to speak different languages. But becoming a published author meant that I needed to spend years studying literature and writing practice. It meant that I couldn't watch TV or play video games anymore. I had to sacrifice my free time. I had to learn to adapt. I shared with them the many times that I had to face rejection from publishers. I told them how I dealt with the disappointment when my first book didn't become a bestseller. I explained that in life you can plan ahead, but no matter how much planning you do, there will always be unexpected turns. There will always be moments when you feel like giving up. And then I reminded them of the story that we had talked about earlier, the story about the princess who didn't want to get married. And I asked them, "Can you remember why the princess didn't want to get married?" The girl who had been listening intently replied, "Because she liked her freedom. She liked being able to make her own choices." I nodded and I said, "Exactly. And that's what I want you guys to remember. Life is full of choices. You may not always get to choose what happens, but you can choose how you react. You can choose how you feel. And those choices are what define you as a person." The bell rang, signaling the end of our session, and the two kids thanked me profusely for coming and for sharing my experiences with them. As I walked away, I felt a sense of satisfaction knowing that in my own small way, I had taught them a valuable life lesson through storytelling. It's amazing how stories have the power to captivate young minds and make learning life lessons fun and engaging. If you're interested in incorporating more storytelling into your teaching practice, check out the resources provided. With a little creativity and practice, you can inspire your students to embrace challenges and become lifelong learners. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and share it with other educators who might find it useful. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this in the future. Wishing you all the best in your teaching journey. Until next time, happy teaching, happy learning.